Good morning, everyone. Before I finish up in class exercise 1, let me summarize what we did in class today. Essentially, we learned how to collapse large data into much smaller data. There are two steps that really need to take place when you collapse data. The first one is to decide by which variable or variables you're going to collapse your data. For example, in our transaction data, we had the UPC code. Each UPC code appeared there many times. And so we wanted to add up what were the dollar sales for each UPC code. So we grouped by UPC. The second thing you need to decide is what do you want to happen to a variable or a set of variables as the computer is collapsing the data. In our case, we wanted to add up dollar sales. So we created a new variable called tot sales and wanted to sum dollar sales as the computer is collapsing the transaction data into prod sales data. So those are the two steps. Decide by what you want to collapse and what do you want to do when it collapses the data. In class exercise 1, we wanted to figure out which brands have the biggest sales in each product category. So we already collapsed the transaction data and we already have the prod sales data that has the sales for each product. So we don't need to go back to the transaction data. We can actually start with this collapsed prod sales data and then collapse it a little further. What do we want to collapse it by? That's step 1. Well, we want to collapse it by brand, certainly, because we want to know sales for each brand, but we want to know sales for each brand in each product category. So we want to collapse by both commodity and brand, product category and brand. That's going to be the group by variable. And then what do we want to know? We want to know sales, so we're going to be adding up total sales. So the code looks just like this. We're going to create a new data frame brand, and it starts with prod sales, group by commodity and brand, summarize sales, sum total sales. And I'm going to actually sort it by product category and by negative sales. So that means it's going to sort it from largest, the biggest sales, to smallest sales. So let's run that. Let's take a look. All right, let's just take a look. We've got 151 observations. Right, so we went from 926 to 151, which means that there are 151 product category and brand combinations. Let's see what it looks like. Here's our first product category, pancake mixes. The top selling brand is Aunt Jemima. In pasta, it's private label, so some kind of store brand, and so on. So it nicely did exactly what we wanted it to do. Thank you.